What's up? Welcome back to the Weekly Bugle, where I am one of your co-hosts, Tyler.
And I am your other co-host, Jesse.
And today we have Falcon and Winter Soldier, Episode 5, called The Truth. And just like last week, we're going to go over a few of the more important scenes or more important points of this episode versus scene by scene. Anything you want to say just before we kick it off?
No, I think that's good. So today we're going to start, well, pretty much at the beginning anyway, with John Walker. Last episode we saw he viciously killed the guy who didn't kill Lamar. It was basically Carly's right-hand man.
Yeah.
So where we pick up is it looks like John has pretty much run away and
He booked it.
Yeah, but he's got that super soldier serum, so he can
Yeah.
move quick now. But yeah, so he must have booked it and ran to this random warehouse to kind of like chill, I guess.
Get away or something.
Yeah, to kind of let his mind, I guess, to calm things down. I can't think of the word, but
Yeah.
I guess Bucky and Sam follow him here though.
Because they kind of
And
meet him there. Well, do you think he was trying to get away from them per se, or just everybody?
I think just everybody. You saw the
Yeah.
eyes on him last time, and
Yeah.
then he's kind of twitching out. And even when he gets in the warehouse, he's still struggling. Like his mind is all over the place. He's having all these flashbacks of Lamar and all these different things that Lamar said. I think the one that really seemed to hit home, or to me seemed to make the biggest difference, is it's when Lamar says, "You consistently make the right decisions in the heat of battle." And
Oh yeah, and
that's
then
like a tough one because John
he
made a
huge
lot of
wrong
bad.
decision.
Yeah. So
I love the fact that Walker's like, "You guys don't want to do this," and then
mhm,
Bucky goes, "Yeah, we do." I was
yeah,
like, "Fuck yeah, get him, Bucky!"
it's cool too because this was basically what Bucky wanted to do in like
From the beginning.
episode 2 or
Yeah, from
something.
the
Yeah,
start. No,
so it's
probably
interesting to
episode
see
2,
them
episode 1, or whenever he figures out like
really early.
Walker. Yeah, it has to be episode 2 because Walker got the shield episode 1.
Yeah, that's true.
But
So it's interesting to see them kind of go back, and I guess it's more appropriate now. I'm a little bit more on their side for
well,
taking the shield.
this fight was like super intense. Like for a moment, you see Walker winning, and then Bucky got his arm zapped, and I even wrote like Bucky's arm's probably fucked now, which it just got electric like zapped and nothing happened. Like I feel like that could have been cut out, or why was it even put in? Because you know what I'm talking about. You remember when it got zapped?
Yeah, yeah,
But
it was weird. It was like because basically John punched or threw Bucky really hard and ran him into a column. But it looked
yeah,
I don't know how it got
it got like
zapped. I
hit
guess it just hit really
like an
hard.
electric box in the back. Like it was
Oh, was it?
like a fuse box or something.
I thought it was like, when you hit your funny bone on the wall and your like arm's kind of out of commission for a little bit.
He had a funny moment on a metal arm,
Yeah, that's how it works on a
vibranium.
metal arm.
But like there was like even you get to see a little bit of how Falcon was. Like we've seen before when he fights, he uses those little jetpacks and his wings to like dodge and stuff like that. But on this one, he does it and then Walker catches him and then rips his wings off.
Hmm.
And like he like it was insane. And then they broke Walker's arm. Did you think they were going to break his arm?
No, I didn't expect that. I guess he was just holding on so tight. I was like, how did you break it? I remember Sam was using his thrusters to give him a little bit extra momentum to pull
Yes.
the shield, and Bucky's, of course, holding him down. The second time watching, I was like, man, I don't know I don't think they intended to break his arm,
No, they just want
and
him
it
to let
almost seemed
go.
like or avoidable,
Yeah.
but I guess it was just yeah, whatever. It broke his arm, and that was rough. It is interesting though because I think it kind of calls back to Steve Rogers again. In fact, I think there's a lot of symbolism during this fight.
Hmm.
But yeah, so Walker's arm breaks, but he's not done fighting. He's still not giving up, and he's still trying to fight Sam and Bucky. But and I call that out because those are admirable traits for Steve. Remember in Endgame, he had his arm broken and strapped it up, ready to fight again. There's
Yeah.
always the "I can do this all day" type thing,
Yep.
which John seems to be kind of emulating here, but we're looking at him in a totally different light. So I always like when they're like comparing and contrasting John and Steve, and you'll get that a lot. Like at one point, John, well, we saw him do the lifting the shield to kill that dude the same way Civil
Yeah.
War. Steve was about to do that
Yes, I
to
was gonna point
Iron
that
Man,
out.
but yeah, so John is about to do it again to Falcon. He's bringing the
Yeah,
shield up
straight
and
kill guy, and then but
he's
Bucky
about to do it
saves him.
again. Mhm. Yeah, so John, crazy unhinged right now. But, yeah, I think this is probably my favorite fight scene of the series, at least so far, because we still have one more episode.
I don't know what my favorite fight scene was, if there has been one. Uh, this is up there for sure, but right now I'm just kinda blanking on the other fight scenes. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think any of them stood out that was like, "Oh, man, like, wow, I have to watch this again." Like, all fight scenes have been good, but none of them have been to the point where I have to watch it over again.
Yeah. This one, I think, yeah, I guess it wasn't like monumental fight scene like compared to all other series, but I think this is the best one. I enjoyed it a lot, and I enjoyed watching it a second time. And it just, I think I like how Bucky and Sam seem to be fighting more. We've talked in previous episodes where they never seem to be a unit. They always
Yeah,
are just doing their own thing. And here, like Falcon is doing like kicks to keep keep
Walker.
wanting to say Cap. Yeah, John from hitting Bucky, and yeah, they're both defending each other and working together. It's kind of like when Steve and Bucky were fighting Iron Man. Like they're kind of getting to that kind of
Yes,
teamwork.
camaraderie.
Yeah. So I was glad to see that because over the course of the series, we've kind of seen that little bit of evolution of them becoming more of a team instead of just out for
2 guys.
themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So I like that.
this is the first time where they actually have each other's back, like,
Yeah.
throughout the entire time. When Bucky would go down, Walker would try to, eliminate Bucky, and Sam would step in, and vice versa. When Sam would go down, Bucky would protect Sam. So, overall,
Yeah.
this is the best one where they've had each other's back.
Yeah, and really, they save each other because John is much more of an effective fighter now with the serum because he was getting
Yes.
whipped by like the Dora Milaje and everybody almost.
Carly whooped his
But
ass.
now he's taken on both Bucky and Sam at the same time, and I think if he had taken them on solo, they were both opportunities for John to kill either of them at any moment when Bucky's knocked out with his arm fried, and he was about to kill Falcon with that
Well,
shield.
Sam not Sam, but, Walker has all these years of military training, and he's probably done
Yeah.
multiple tours, but don't get me wrong, no, Sam is, uh, a paratrooper, I think, and he's a paratrooper,
Yeah, yeah,
and Bucky's an assassin, but, it just goes to show how great of a combatant Walker is,
yeah,
versus an assassin and a paratrooper, even though Bucky is super soldier but and Sam's not.
yeah, and I mentioned it in earlier episodes too. It still seems like Bucky struggles a little bit with super soldier like
People, yes.
opponents. So, and same here because I would expect just with in Captain America: Winter Soldier, there was all this these mythology of Winter Soldier, like he's this crazy being, everyone's terrified of him, but he seems to be on even footing with so many different super soldiers when they fight. Isaiah Bradley took his arm off,
Well, do
and
you think Bucky holds back versus some people now?
maybe I mean Walker is fighting with a lot more brutality here compared to the other two of them. I mean that scene where John slam punches the shield into Bucky's face. Like I wince every time 'cause that looks so
Painful?
painful. Yeah, and you see him bleeding from it later. But John, I guess Bucky maybe is holding back a little bit. He's definitely not as brutal as John is. I guess
Because
maybe if he was Winter Soldier mentality,
I
this
think
fight would
Bucky,
be
yeah, if Bucky was there to kill him, it'd
mhm,
be different. But
yeah.
Bucky's more there to not eliminate him, but incapacitate him
Yeah, uh-huh.
and take the shield.
Yeah, that's a good point. And
Um, go ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna kind of bring up more of the. I think there's like a little bit of neat symbolism just in
Yeah,
throughout the fight. So after they kind of take each other down, like all three of them at one point are on the ground, and the shield lands in between them. But that was just kind of a neat, like a visual of kind of how the shield is constantly a wedge between them, or is the center focal point of all of this conflict, as it all goes back to the shield. And especially the blood on the shield,
yeah.
they kept showing that, and even at one point, Falcon's trying to
Trying to
rub the
rub it
blood
off.
off. So I took that to mean how Walker has essentially tarnished the shield and
Yeah, I
has
thought
really
that
dirtied
too.
up its legacy, and the way Falcon, I think his evolution through the series will be cleaning up that legacy as we see him try to like clean off the shield.
Yeah,
And some of it is just, wanting to preserve
Steve's
Steve's
legacy.
reputation. Yeah. So yeah, I thought overall it was a really cool fight just with the visuals. It was really well put together. There was a lot of character within their fight scenes. Each one fought differently. And yeah, I thought overall really well done.
Some things also before the fight started, Sam asked for the shield back. Walker seemed like he was going to turn himself into kind of Sam and Bucky, and Sam was even saying, hey, they're gonna, they'll be lenient because they're going to consider your record.
Hmm.
And then as soon as Sam asked for the shield, that's when the fight started.
It's always that last line.
Yeah, it is. I think somebody
Hmm.
said that. Sam said that earlier
Yeah, yeah, in the in
in
like
episode
episode two
two.
or something.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But no, and then so that leads us into the next scene where not I don't know if it's the exact next scene, but the next scene with Walker where he is in front of a committee and he is being dishonorably discharged.
Or other
And
than honorably, I don't know if there's much of a difference. I'm not too familiar with.
dishonorably means like he's being kicked out, he's not getting his benefits, he's not getting his pension, he's not getting
Right,
shit. Honorably would be like, hey, you have honor, you get to keep all your shit.
right.
um you know you they like we want to keep a record of like where you're honorable basically, and dishonorable is no obviously dishonored.
Yeah, but they call it other than honorably discharged in the show. So it,
Maybe,
it must be, I guess it's not dishonorable, it's not honorable, it's kind of a weird out
yeah.
there sort of thing. I took
Huh.
it more
I
on the
didn't catch that.
dishonorable side, essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not too familiar, but
but and
yeah, just
probably just
specifically.
means like because there's probably something dealing with like being court-martialed and because I think when you're dishonorably you might be like charges pressed against you, like if you're
Hmm.
dishonorably discharged. I'm not 100% positive on that. And maybe
Well,
the other dishonorably means like they're not going to press charges or court martial you or anything.
maybe, and that's
Bec-
essentially what happens to
yeah,
John. Is
and
he kind of
and
they
they
go
even
easy on him a little bit?
they go very easy on him.
Yeah.
Because something I wanted to bring up, and it's like I there's this. You have TikTok,
No, but I'm familiar with it.
so I've been sending you videos from this black guy named Straw Hat Goofy. I don't know if
Okay.
so Straw Hat. So shout out to him because he he talks about stuff and he makes me think about it. And he brought up the idea that here is not Sam Walker. He killed this guy in front of hundreds of people. Thousands, millions have seen it by now because it's gone, viral. Bet,
Yeah.
and he gets dishonorably discharged. No, uh, no, like he doesn't see prison time. He doesn't see anything. He essentially goes off on the committee and walks off mid hearing. And then you have Isaiah Bradley, and Isaiah Bradley literally in the show said he got imprisoned for saving people,
Yeah.
right? And it just goes to show uh how uh white privilege is basically on the show, or are the
Hmm.
white privilege. I should say white privilege, but how race matters still.
Hmm.
Just like there's always been racial undertone in all the episodes, but this is just another example of the bigger picture, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and I think we'll definitely one of the things we definitely want to focus on a lot is going to be Isaiah Bradley in that whole conversation. So I'm sure
Yeah,
we'll get pretty steep into that once we get there. I guess going back to John a little bit,
yeah,
like you were saying, he does get away with murder essentially, but he does lose everything. It does suck, I guess, for him because he does have such a glowing military record of doing so many good things and taking
yeah.
on the Captain America title as they asked him to. It's a who would want to say no to that? It's like a big honor. And he does one wrong thing and just
I
ruins it. I
mean, but
mean,
this
the
one
one wrong
wrong
thing
thing
was
was like
murder.
hurt
Yeah.
huge. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it was a
wasn't.
big
It
thing.
wasn't like he just stole a car or
Yeah.
a watch from a store. Like the bitch took somebody's head off.
Yeah, it wasn't even the murderer, the guy who killed Lamar, or because
Yeah,
Carly was the one who killed Lamar. So, yeah,
you know
but John, oh, go ahead.
what's funny about that is like he said it so many times. Like I avenged Lamar's murderer, and like
Yeah.
he said it so many times, and I didn't go back and rewatch the episode that like I started believing. I'm like, yeah, he fucking did. Yeah, that's right. Like,
No, he
like
didn't.
I forgot that it was Carly.
I guess he did maybe of it was kind of an eye for an eye kind of scenario in that
Yeah,
he took Carly's
right
right-hand
hand man
man,
because you took my right hand man.
but really,
You took
yeah,
my damsel in distress, like I said last
yeah.
episode.
Yeah, so I guess but it's not entirely even.
No,
I don't know if John I guess John is mostly saying that he got the right person, maybe to kind of,
make himself look good.
or to
Like,
make himself feel better, to kinda make it feel justified,
yes,
everything that
that
he did,
justify. That's the word I was looking for.
even though, yeah, I think he's struggling to come to terms with he didn't really get the
Do
right.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
he just lost
yeah.
his cool. But as Walker walks off, he walks up to Madam Hydra. That's not her name. That's just what her name is on the comics.
Yeah, I
Do you?
wrote down her name, like, the long one. I read up a little bit about her, so it was here, let me find it 'cause it's long. Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, and she says, "Call her Val, but don't verbally," something like that.
Yeah.
But, so she is potentially a pretty big deal. So in the comics, this character, she's I don't know, kind of like a spy type, like Black Widow would be. So she has roots with so she was in Shield at one point, even dated Nick Fury. I think she
Yep.
was flirting around with Captain America and there was like some,
She's a
you
hoe.
know, you know, love triangle thing there for a minute. But then she went to Hydra and was Madame Hydra for a
Uh
little
huh.
bit, but then it turned out she was like kind of a double agent there too and was really working for this organization called Leviathan, which is kind of like another Shield or Hydra. So she's not within Hydra, even though she took the title of Madame
Madam
Hydra at
Hydra.
one point. There was a different Madame Hydra that usually holds that name. I think she typically goes by like Viper as well. So I wouldn't expect to see any kind of. I think this is the next step away from Hydra. I think Hydra is pretty much done. Shield is kind of whatever it is. It's not really active right now either, and so we're probably seeing. It could potentially be the makings of Leviathan. This group, I'm not as familiar with them. I don't think they're as big. From what I've seen, they don't really make many appearances, but Leviathan or MCU could be taking her in a totally other direction. I don't know, but I think what at the bare minimum it seems that she's trying to build up her own team of
Yeah.
super or enhanced, super powered people, her own Leviathan Avengers, whatever. Could that end up being Thunderbolts down the road somehow? Maybe. I don't know, but I'm sure she's probably working with someone. So she's a big deal. They got a pretty big actress to take on the role. It's oh, I'm blanking on her name now. I just said a from
Oh,
Seinfeld.
yes.
Louis
Okay.
Dreyfus. I'm
Yeah.
pronouncing that wrong, I'm sure.
More than
But
likely, but it's okay.
she's big. She's a great actress, and yeah, she's a good get. So expect to see her. I was even seeing apparently, she was supposed to be introduced in Black Widow because
Yes.
Black Widow was supposed to have
Been out by
released
now.
before. Yeah,
Hey,
so she was
so
supposed to debut there. Go ahead.
other than honorably discharged, or OTH, is the most severe administrative discharge for the military.
Oh, damn. I would have thought it as a middle ground. So it's like a we don't even have a definition for the shit you did kind of thing.
Yeah, it's for the most severity of the offenses. Um, dealing with assault, drug possession, or various degrees of drug violation or other problems could all potentially motivate an other than honorably discharge.
Damn, that's a long fall
Yeah.
to be like
So
the top military like
I just
golden
want
boy
I
to
just wanted to get that out because
No, I'm glad you did.
we
We
didn't
were
know what it
wrong.
meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were wrong. Well, yeah, glad you cleared that up. That's rough. I but um but yeah, going back to
Yeah,
Val or
Madam
whatever.
Hyder.
I was wondering since she was supposed to debut in Black Widow, I wonder what the odds are that she recruits Taskmaster like she's recruiting John here.
That's a good point. I didn't think of that. The only thing with Madam Hydra I have like essentially because I didn't think about that. That's a good point. Is could she be the power broker? Which doesn't make sense
Yeah.
because she's already in the MCU because she was supposed to be uh in the Black Widow movie.
Right.
And then I thought, how fucked up was it that she uh like handed a blank card to Walker's wife, and like she was like flipping it like multiple times, like like
Yeah.
like looking for something. She's like, it's blank.
Yeah, I thought it was a baller move to
You
hand
thought,
someone a business card with nothing on it. I love John's response too that there's nothing on it. He's
yeah.
just like, what the hell?"
I was just like,
So
damn, that's an asshole move. Like,
I want to do that. Like that's cool. Like here's my card, nothing on it.
I
I'll
don't
call
know.
you
Like,
too.
I think the Joker has a better one when he hands him like a regular playing card. This is just the Joker.
Yeah, that's cool. That is cooler. But this is like the next.
This
That's the
is like an.
runner
I
up.
feel like this is an asshole move. Like, let me just distract you with this blank piece of paper. Like, you might as well hand him like a regular 8 by 11 sheet of paper.
Do you think there's like maybe like a hidden message on it
I
somewhere?
thought about that, like maybe under a black light,
Yeah, yeah.
but I just didn't like. I didn't want to think too much into it because like that scene ended pretty quickly.
Yeah, it was pretty. It has it looms large, I think,
Yeah,
in what it and how it could affect the rest of the MCU. So definitely keep an eye on this character. She'll most likely show up again throughout the different series, and I guess keep an eye out for her in Black Widow. So
yeah, because she's in it.
yeah, for
Do
sure.
you think that's supposed to be the huge mystery cast, or not cast? It's like a huge
Oh, like a mystery reveal that they've been
yeah.
alluding to. So no, not exactly. I think maybe it's one of like the bigger reveals, but I remember there was an interview and I can't remember who said it, what part of the show they were, but they said that they would be bringing somebody back from like the early movies of the
See, I
MCU.
thought that because I read something like a major person who's been in a previous movie.
Yeah,
And then I was like, oh, it's supposed to be Madam Hydra because she was supposed to be in the Black Widow movie, but nobody knew it because nobody got to see it yet.
yeah, no, I don't think it's her. I think she's
Okay.
a big Easter egg, but I took it to be somebody like Abomination or the leader, people from the Hulk movie that never
Oh,
were
see, I was.
explained, or Arnim Zola with like the robot body,
I
something
think
like
he's
that.
dead.
Well, he could have. I could see them writing a way to bring him back. Maybe he transferred his consciousness elsewhere, or maybe he had this body laying around. They said, I believe Arnim Zola's robot body was supposed to be in Winter Soldier, so they've considered doing it before. Or maybe it was
Uh,
in Ant Man, or I can't remember. It was supposed to show up somewhere else. So
maybe
maybe,
our what Ant Man. What if our big person is Ant Man? He's been along like the entire time, just on Sam Wilson's shoulder. We just
that
can't
would
see
be
him because
cool. I'm
I'd be
down
so
with more
upset.
Ant Man.
I'd be
I
so
don't know
upset
where
because
these
they didn't.
characters would show up.
Well,
Oh, I have an idea, but you can go ahead and say what you're
no,
saying.
I was just making the joke that Ant Man's been there the entire time, and we just had no idea because he's microscopic.
Yeah, I'm down with more Ant-Man always. But I was thinking this is probably a long shot, not going to happen. But what if it is a character like Abomination or Leader or some villain like that who off screen has been hired by Val?
Venom.
So, because U.S. Agent or John Walker is probably going to show up in the next episode,
Uh huh.
and maybe she's bringing some people with her. Maybe the team is showing up. I don't know.
Maybe
But
she
I was
actually
like,
has.
it could be
Maybe she actually has Conrad,
Conrad.
the tiger, smiling tiger,
Oh, Smiling Tiger. Yeah, I forgot about him.
the
Anthony
real one.
Mackie's playing two roles. I guess Paul Bettany did it in WandaVision, so they could totally do
Yeah,
it. That would be interesting. I don't know if I need Smiling Tiger though.
I definitely don't.
Yeah,
um,
but she's. Oh, go ahead. Sorry,
no, go ahead,
I
go ahead.
talked. I was gonna just point out that she seems really informed because she knows that John doesn't have the shield. She
Yes,
also knows that John took the serum. All of these things happening privately. The government doesn't even know that John doesn't have the shield or that he's now serumed up.
she also
So
makes a good point that the government can't ask for the shield back because it's not theirs.
yeah, I thought that was a really cool clarification because all this time we're like, it's the government's property, it's the government's property, but it is kind of a weird gray area, like she said. I
Yeah,
mean, I guess what are the roots of the shield? Because we don't know how shield shield wasn't created at the time. It was just the military, I guess.
yeah,
And
it
Howard
was
Stark
had a little
made
piece of vibranium and kind of made the
yeah,
shield out of it. So if anything, it's like Stark tech.
or Wakandan. We don't know how they acquired the vibranium, if it was stolen or if it was
I think the only person who successfully stole it was
Claw.
Claw, and he
Yeah.
wasn't around yet.
So I don't know how they got the vibranium in the first place, and then Howard Stark made it, and he was a contractor. I
Unless T'Chaka's brother, when he stole some, he like sold it.
Oh, maybe
Remember from Black Panther how at the
that's
beginning?
true.
I
So
think we're
yeah, I don't
thinking way
know.
too into this. Like, I think,
It's the
like,
MCU. You got to
yeah,
think everyone like the heads of Marvel that it's their job to do this. No, they kind of have an idea of where. Otherwise, they wouldn't even bring it up.
yeah.
But I guess that is kind of the weird gray area is we don't really know where it's originated from or who really owns it. So,
Steve Rogers owns it.
but I guess that's a good segue into the end credit scene while we're
Yeah,
talking about John.
where he's
So
making his own shield.
yeah, he's bootlegging a shield for himself, just using scrap metal laying around. So, which is pretty typical. I was reading the most recent U.S. Agent comic. I read a couple issues. If I'm being honest, I couldn't really get into it, but
Really?
yeah, it was. I don't know. This wasn't for me. But in it, his shield is like breaking a couple times. Like he'll use it, and somebody will break it, and he's like, "Son of a bitch, I got to make another shield, or I got to get another shield." And so it's kind of like a funny ongoing joke in that, or at least a couple issues that I read. So
When the episode dropped Friday, there were so many memes and pictures of like people throwing like duct tape shields and like talking about it being walkers
it does look like I would be scared to get hit with that shield because I
because
feel
it
like it would
it
give
would
me
combust. It would like
or I'm
combust and breaking shrapnel into your eye.
or I feel like I need like a tetanus shot or something
Yeah.
afterwards. Like it's like probably rusted metal or I don't know how good that thing is, but yeah, it's a makeshift shield, no vibranium, and that seems to be the way it's going in the comics too. So yeah, he doesn't have a cool shield like that, but he'll
Well,
take what he
he
can get.
had his awards. I thought he was gonna put them around like the white.
I'm glad he didn't. I thought that was gonna be cheesy. I was like, don't put that on there.
Oh, I thought that was gonna be like
I didn't see
badass.
it on the shield. Did he? I know he put it on there at one point, I guess, but I don't remember in the final. Or I
We
guess
well,
it never was final
yeah,
product.
we never saw it fine. We just saw it kind of like metal.
Yeah. So I guess he's putting his medals on there
Yeah,
as to kind of make a I don't know
yeah.
make a statement.
Um,
But
this brings us to the next topic. Our
let
boy.
me I just want
Oh,
to
go.
one thing. I just want to say that this is probably a transition into John becoming the title US agent, where I feel a little bit more comfortable now calling him US agent. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe takes on the name, like shows up, I'm not Captain America, I'm US agent or something like that.
I would hate for that. I just feel like that's so cheesy.
It would be, but
Call
it's
me
kind of what
Captain
John
Agent.
is.
Like,
But he does go by that in the comics, so I think at some
yeah,
point he's got to go by the name US agent instead of John
I
Walker.
think that's gonna
So
be like a code name that they'll give him. Like Sam will call him like U.S. Agent. I don't think
like
he's
as a
ever
joke.
not a joke, but like Batroc the Leaper,
Yeah,
like a code name or Spider Man. Like a code name that people have, but I don't think he's ever gonna call himself U.S. Agent. Like that just seems so
maybe.
like cheesy to me.
I don't know. That's what he goes by. That's his name.
No,
So
I know, but I feel like if they say it, it's going to be like somebody calling him that, not necessarily him calling himself that.
yeah, maybe. I don't know. I guess for the purposes of this podcast, if I or either of us refer to U.S. agent, just know I'm talking about John Walker
Walker,
because I'm
yeah.
kind of seeing that in the same light. And it's easier to say, I prefer to say U.S. agent instead of Cap. And I don't know. I don't like calling him John Walker. I want to give him the code name.
Oh no,
So
please Walker, because
I know him as,
I've never referred to that man as Cap.
yeah, I don't want to either, but I know him as U.S. agent. So that's
But
usually
when
where I want to go
next
to.
episode when Sam does, I will call him Cap.
Yeah, I would. Even in my notes, I was starting to get to the point where I kept wanting to write Cap
Cap,
instead of Sam or
yeah.
so Falcon.
But with Sam, once he after the whole discharge with Walker, things bring Sam goes back to Beemore, and he goes to visit Isaiah Bradley, and his nephew or his grandson's playing basketball, and I gotta say, the boy has a bad jump shot. I don't know if
I
you
was
paid
gonna.
attention to that.
I put it in my notes too. I was like, of all the scenes they picked, why'd they pick the one where he threw an air ball out there?
Yes, I know. I got
Because he
so
showed up
pissed.
all cool. He's like, "Yeah, my grandfather's back there.
He's like,
I'm gonna
I'll
be there
meet you
too,
back there
acting all
soon.
tough."
Yeah.
And they show the scene. I'm like, "Oh, he's gonna. This is gonna be a good shot."
Swish, yeah. A
No,
pass to a layup or something. Nah, that bitch airballed it. I was
all
so
air.
pissed. I was like, God damn it.
Why'd you do him like that? Pick a different shot.
Like, well, imagine they shot that shot like 5 times. Sam like
Yeah,
trips once and like something happens and then like, all right, well, this is the best one. They just didn't pay attention. They should have just
yeah,
fucking CGI'd the ball into the rim, like at that game. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I noticed it too, though. That was I
Uh,
didn't even pay attention to Falcon.
well,
I
not
wanted to see what that shot if it landed.
well, like not only did the shot miss, but his form just looked bad.
Oh, okay.
It just looked
I didn't
bad.
even notice that.
That's what I looked. I looked at his form first, and then I looked at where the ball landed, and it didn't even like it was like a foot away.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
But you want to tell us all what Sam and Isaiah talked about?
Yeah, so quite a bit goes on in this short scene, I would say. So Sam essentially shows up to Isaiah, and to quote Sam, he says, "I need to understand just kind of what happened to Isaiah and what the deal is." Essentially, I think he's really going there for insight. I couldn't tell that it seemed like maybe he wanted to give the shield to
See,
Isaiah.
that's what I thought at first. I thought he wanted to give it to Isaiah, but then
So
but Isaiah was like, I don't want to see that shit.
yeah, but if
And then
Isaiah would have been more, you
open
know,
to receiving it, I think he
yeah,
would have because I felt like Sam doesn't. Sam, we God, Sam has said he wants to do the right thing.
hmm,
And I don't think he knows what the right thing is quite yet. Like
yeah,
he thought giving it to the Smithsonian was the right thing, but then we taught that they made a new Captain America. He found out about Isaiah Bradley, so I think he wants to give it to. I thought he wanted to because I felt like he thought that was the right thing to do, and
yeah.
then Isaiah kind of turned him down, so he kept it.
I see. Yeah, I think that that sums up about what I thought too. I was just it looked like he wanted to give the shield. I wasn't sure if only I saw it that way or what, but I mean, I guess it would make sense because you want to be like, you deserve this all along kind of deal. But I totally see why Isaiah doesn't want it. He's like, that shield is not my legacy. That shield is just a reminder of all the terrible things that have happened. And Isaiah does give a little bit of insight into what happened to him and a lot of bad stuff. So Isaiah was jailed. He had, a girl that he loved outside that her
Yep.
letters were being prevented from making it to him, and the jailers were even telling her that Isaiah was dead. So and then like kind of the big thing that I want to talk about, at least for now. I'm sorry, my neighbors have decided to vacuum. Is
Oh,
this, you hear
I
it?
thought they were watching like Jurassic Park,
No, they've
and
decided
because
to
I heard like
vacuum right
it's,
up above me.
it sounds like "Rawr," like like dinosaurs.
Do you want me to wait for a second for them to shut the hell
No,
up, or
because I'm gonna like audio removes like a bunch of background noise and shit. Because I don't
okay?
know if you can hear my washer and dryer going.
No, I can't, but it might be
Okay.
there. I only got one headphone in, but they are disruptive as hell. So okay, I'll just keep
Fucking
going then.
inconsiderate assholes.
I know, of all the times.
Yeah.
This late? You're gonna vacuum
Yeah,
this
it's
late?
9:30 at night.
The hell. Okay. So Isaiah Bradley reveals that he was basically shot up with the serum unknowingly.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What was that? He had a scar on his side. Did you see what that was? Was it
Yeah,
just
I couldn't tell what it was. It was a quick shot. I took it to just be the experiments when they were like
okay?
raw
I
and
thought
just
maybe
kind
they
of
cut like a square off of him of like skin and did like a skin graft to like test his skin or whatever.
maybe. I took it to be a like a visualization of
The
the
test.
experiments. Yeah,
Yeah.
the test. And so yeah, so him along with I think he said like 12 others were injected with the serum, different serums, and they didn't know about it. And I believe this is kind of mirroring a real life event called the Tuskegee study, where uh, I don't know what you call like scientists or whatever, basically told that like a group of black people in an area that they were going to test them or give them something for bad blood was what it was called, but in actually they injected them with syphilis in order to kind of test the effects of syphilis, see how it worked, and see if they could come up with a treatment, something along those lines. Basically, very immoral and extremely unethical, and just to this one community. And to make matters worse, I believe that penicillin came around at that time, could have cured the syphilis, still didn't give it to them. So it was, yeah, just an awful event.
You know,
So
that's not the first time that they've tested it, like, on a group of people. Like, they trust tested birth control on, like, Puerto Ricans and, like,
really,
and things like that. So that's not the first time, like, our government's done that.
man, that's shitty. It's
Yeah.
sad to know that. And I think that it does echo into it makes, I guess, this, the show event a little bit more real because you can believe
Yeah.
it. You're like, wow, yeah, our government actually does do shit
Multiple
like that.
times, yeah.
Yeah. And so basically that's what's going on with Isaiah. And but I another interesting thing, kind of we were talking about how John and Steve are often compared and contrasted.
Yeah.
We get a little bit of that with Isaiah and Steve here because Isaiah mentions that at one point some of his men got captured
Yep.
and nobody wanted to go rescue them. In fact, I think they were talking about bombing the place just to be done with it.
Well,
So
they're bombing them so that whoever kidnapped them and had them as POWs, they
yeah,
couldn't test them to get the super soldier serum
right.
because those other super soldiers.
So Isaiah decides to go against the orders and sneak out and break out his men that were captured,
Up.
and then when he gets back, he's put in jail, which is pretty much, if you think back to the Captain America First Avenger, this is what Steve did. He found out that, Bucky's squadron or whatever was captured,
Yeah.
and the military didn't want to go in there because they didn't have feel like they had enough troops and it was too small of a team. So yeah, Steve snuck out, disobeyed orders, went and got his men back. And when he came back, he was presented as a hero, where
Yeah.
Isaiah did this and Isaiah gets thrown in jail. So
And that's just like what I was saying earlier about uh Walker killing somebody
mhm.
and getting off, and you know, uh Bradley saved people and he goes to prison.
Yeah, exactly. So we're seeing a lot of that. Yeah, I didn't even realize that one. So I like the different symbolism, and when you really analyze the different characters and look deeper
Uh-huh.
into it, you see these different threads unraveling. But also, yeah, we learn how Isaiah is broken free too. I guess a nurse made it look like he was
And he
dead.
never gave her name either.
Yeah, he doesn't. So
He just says,
yeah,
like,
a nurse
a super nice nurse or, something
took
like
pity
along
on
those
him.
lines. Yeah.
Yeah. So and she gave him the letters that Bradley was never given. So that's essentially how he's released, and he's pretty much just been laying low ever since.
Well, the nurse also helped him fake his death.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Um,
So
and during the scene, we actually got to see Anthony Mackie, like, once again, his acting is top notch.
yes,
Like,
absolutely, tearing up.
yes,
Hmm.
just, man, he is on top of it with his acting
He's so
ability.
good. Yeah,
I
he
know.
he really is. Really, yeah. I didn't really have many high expectations for Anthony Mackie. Just I haven't
Well,
seen him in a lot, so I didn't
remember
really have a high bar.
before the show even started, I was like, man, I don't know how Anthony Mackie can carry a show. Like, he seems like
Right.
a supporting actor. He doesn't seem like the main guy. And I don't know if I mentioned that to you, but I know I was
I think
saying it.
so.
I know I was
Yeah,
saying
but
it, but he's carrying his weight. He's
absolutely.
hell of an actor.
Yeah. And let's see. So I think one thing to point out too is that Isaiah is extremely bitter, understandably, through everything that he's been through. But he's kind of pushing that on Sam because he's saying no self-respecting black man would ever take up the Captain America
America's shield.
mantle,
Yeah.
even if they were allowed to. The government won't allow it to happen anyway. But I think, like, I personally disagree with Isaiah, and I think Sam does too, because I think the reality of it is that, and maybe the conclusion that Sam will get to is that the world needs to see a black Captain America,
Yeah.
and to instead of hiding and just saying it's never going to happen, don't even worry about it. He needs to kind of take that and embrace it. So
I
I
agree.
I think that's where we'll see the show go. I mean, we've been saying that since episode 1 is that's going to
And
be the
but
arc.
that's a if they do make a season 2 of Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think that would be what season 2 is about, how a black man has to succeed as Captain America when, like, the government's basically saying, like, no, there should be a white person doing this job. I
Yeah,
think that would
probably.
probably be like the major line, like the symbolism inside of it that we'd have to like look into.
I could see that because they've waited, as we thought, they waited until the last episode to really make him Captain
Captain
America.
America.
But I don't know how much we'll see because I'm sure it's going to be. I will talk about the next episode a little bit
Yeah,
later. But let's see. That's all I have on Isaiah right now. Do
yeah,
you have anything
perfect.
else?
No, nothing on Isaiah. But our next guy we want to talk about Zemo.
Yes, sir.
Um, Bucky comes up to Zemo and basically I don't even remember the conversation how it went, but I remember he had a gun to him and he like I was like, okay, he's gonna kill him, right?
Hmm.
Like he's gonna help the Wakandans, but he pulls the trigger and then drops the bullets like a boss.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was a very interesting, scene because, you know, it shows that he can still kill somebody, I guess you can say, but he has the power and the courage not to.
Yeah, he had the strength to not put those bullets in the gun. Something I'm sure that was an internal
Yeah,
turmoil for him.
especially, with how the Wakandans felt about him, breaking him out basically.
Yeah.
And, Wakandans are like a second family to him.
Yeah, so I think it
Er,
showed a lot of growth for Bucky in that where he is instead of going immediately for the kill shot, now he's kind of learning to, I guess, respect life of others and
Yeah.
not kill.
Um,
So,
some other stuff though, uh, I think when he hands over the Wakandans, Ao says, you shouldn't show your face basically
mhm.
for a little bit just because of, what happened. And then he asks for a favor. And I'm assuming it's the suit that Sam
Yeah.
gets, which we're gonna talk more about the suit. But what I wanted to ask, do you think Zemo is going to be in Black Panther 2?
No, I don't think so. So the Dora Milaje,
Are going to bring him to the raft?
yeah, they take him to the raft instead of a Wakandan prison, which I thought was interesting. It also, I think the Wakandans are gonna relive this again because if Zemo's going to a U.S. prison, the raft, we've seen Steve break people out of there before, so it's not
Yeah, it's in the middle of the
totally.
ocean though.
It is, but Steve managed to get them
Yeah, but Steve's a
out. So
super soldier and
yeah,
like one of a kind.
my point is that I think Wakanda is not going to have any control over Zemo with him being in a U.S. prison.
Yeah,
So my assumption is that Zemo will return. He's probably going to get broken out by somebody, or somebody's going to say that guy's got a lot to offer. Let's put him on our team. I mean, he was part of the Thunderbolts at one point. I believe he led it, and
yeah.
then the Masters of Evil. So I think there's
Well,
still
do you
more
think
to
Madam
come.
Hydra would break him out and make him
I
part? And so imagine how Zemo would fit next to U.S. Agent.
Yeah, I could totally see them setting up a team like that if you wanted to have Zemo leading this team with US Agent as their Captain America. You could have Taskmaster in there, would be a good asset.
What about if they got their own TV show, like a Suicide Squad kind of thing?
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that they are going some sort of route like that. I mean, if you want to bring back Abomination, there's your Hulk because the Thunderbolts
Yeah,
were basically a mirrored version of the Avengers. Like they each person on that team had a skill that matched one of the Avengers. Like I think was maybe I'm thinking I always get the Dark Avengers mixed up with the Thunderbolts. So
I
maybe
think
I'm
it's the
talking
Dark
about the Dark
Avengers you're thinking
Avengers.
about.
Yeah, I'm thinking of them because it was like Bullseye as Hawkeye, but still you could still kind of do a blend. So
Yeah,
I don't know. My money's still on. I think Abomination's the one that could be coming back
I don't
as
think
their
so.
Hulk. But
I honestly think that was the cameo or the big person was Madam Hydra. Like
man,
because just think like Paul Bettany like hyped up. He's like, yeah, we have a huge person. It was fucking him. He
yeah,
was
but that was him joking around. They're specifically saying somebody from the early movies will be
and
in here, but
Wanda
he wasn't.
Elizabeth
So
Olsen, Wanda even said there's a huge one like Luke Skywalker type of
somebody did say that, and
that
I
was
thought
Elizabeth
that
Olsen
was it
and like
Elizabeth Olsen that said that?
and yeah, she
It
said it
wasn't
and then it was
anybody.
fucking Paul Bettany because as soon as
Yeah,
she said it like the next week he doubled down and it was like fucking huge and it was fucking him.
yeah.
So
Well,
I don't know.
that was just them joking around. I don't think that because technically there was a an actor that Paul had really been looking to work with. I don't know.
himself.
I believe them. I think they are. I don't think
Okay.
they're just gonna joke tease stuff. I guess we'll
Well,
see next episode. I guess we'll know, or we'll
okay.
come back to this.
This
But
just hit me. Would you be upset if this Michael Pena
yeah, I
Luis from
would.
Ant-Man?
I would. I'd be like,
Even
of
if he
all
gives
the
one of his fucking fast ass stories?
I guess that would be kinda cool, but it'd also be a letdown because 'cause I'm talking about
I
an
would love it.
Enola in a robot body or Abomination or the Leader, all these different things. Red Skull, I don't know. So,
I
there
would
are
be
a lot
happy.
of other characters I would prefer to see,
I would be super
much as I
happy.
like Luis. He'll get that cameo in his own in the Ant-Man movie.
Oh,
So,
definitely.
but
Um,
okay, where were we?
did you have anything else on Zemo?
Maybe a little bit. So this whole
Okay.
scene is taking place in Sokovia, because you remember uh, in the statue that's in Sokovia, and he was, on Sam and Bucky for not visiting. So I think
Yeah.
that's how Bucky knew to find him here. Um,
Which good job on Bucky for like knowing where to go. Like
yeah, but
that.
Zemo shot him down. He was like, "I thought you get here faster."
Yeah. No, but still, like he could have gone anywhere. Like that's the
Yeah,
place you knew.
yeah, that was smart, and it made sense. I wonder what's going to happen with Sokovia. My money is still on Latveria.
You
I'm
think it's
still
gonna turn to
thinking.
Latveria?
I think so. I mean, it seems like the perfect spot to do it. It's a place that's been leveled, has a lot of history in the show, and now you can build up a castle. In fact, some of the Sokovia imagery from like Age of Ultron looks a little bit like
Latveria.
Latveria. Yeah, just with like
Maybe.
the
Who knows? We'll
castles, and
see.
so that's what my money on
But
is on.
they always talk about reusing places. Like the first
Hmm.
Avengers Tower is supposed to become the Baxter Building, and
Yeah,
then Sokovia would come Latveria. Like they haven't mentioned that, but the Baxter Building was definitely rumored. So they're
yeah,
always trying to reuse things.
and I remember when you got to see the Avengers Tower in Spider-Man Far From Home, it was like a quick shot, but it showed
Yeah.
like different phases of development on there. And it was the
Yes.
fourth phase, of course, but then also it was like a circle around the four. So I was like, okay, it sounds like they're suggesting this will be Fantastic Four. And we do know they have officially said that Fantastic Four will be a
Be
movie to come out.
yeah.
So
I think they haven't even cast it yet, though.
no, no, I don't it's still a ways out. I think it is
Yeah.
maybe the last one of phase five, which is what we're in. And we
That's
still
not
have
that far away. I mean,
it's not
but
super far away, it's
it's
the
not super
last
far away,
one.
but at the same time,
It
we've
is.
pushed phase five like back a whole year
Yeah,
because
we
of the
probably would have
pandemic.
been close to the end. Yeah, we haven't even started phase 5. Black Widow hasn't even come out,
Yeah.
counting the movies, so we're still way, way behind. I guess that's a topic for another time. We have a lot of movies coming out this year, assuming COVID doesn't botch it again, but
Well,
we'll
if even if they say like, "Hey, it's gonna be in theaters," your boy's gonna show up,
Oh, I'm
gas
going
mask
there.
and all.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
hard. I'll be there.
Yep, I'm gonna catch that COVID. I'm gonna watch Black Widow.
Because that COVID one. I think
Yeah.
it's also gonna come on Disney Plus.
It's on
Like
Disney Plus. I'm gonna watch it on Disney Plus. Although I'm gonna be tempted to see it in IMAX because that'll be a good
the
IMAX
last
movie.
time I went to IMAX, I was pissed. Do you remember? Because you and I went to go see Batman vs Superman. I know I'm getting off on a tangent, and we
Mhm.
walked out, and I'm like, "Fuck, I want my money back."
Yeah,
That's
I
the
like that movie
that's
though.
the last IMAX I've gone to see.
Well, still, I'd go for Black Widow. I'll probably just watch it on Disney Plus, so
Yeah,
we'll see. But to get back to Zemo, so yeah,
yeah, we
Sokovia.
digress.
I still do think, yeah, I'm anticipating that Varia is where we're going with that.
Okay.
Um, let's see. Yeah, so I guess that's about all I have for Zemo. He's gonna be just chilling in the raft whenever we need him for another movie or show, and I think he'll break out. I wouldn't be surprised if there is a Thunderbolts incoming. I imagine he'll be recruited for that, kind of like Suicide Squad, like you were saying.
Yeah, be Marvel Suicide Squad because Suicide Squad's such a big thing. And I don't know if Marvel has their own version of them or like
Um,
some kind of squad. Uh,
I'm sure they probably had something similar, but I'm not
probably.
too familiar. Not like a popular one. I mean, the Thunderbolts were even they would try to like seem like they were good, and then they would be bad, and then certain members would try to redeem that. So it's kind
Yeah.
of place, but it was never like the. I haven't heard of one like the bombs in the heads and stuff like that.
But the next thing is Sharon. She called Batroc, the Leaper.
Yes, Batroc the Leaper. So yeah, we've
Yeah, the
been.
Thunderbolts is Marvel Suicide Squad. I just looked it up
Is
according
it
to Screen
okay? So
Rant.
it's not. it's not like, sometimes like Deadpool and Deathstroke are almost like very, very similar
Yeah,
creations. Marvel even has their own Justice League type thing that looks like they have like a Wonder Woman looking thing. They're named different,
yeah.
so yeah, Mass or Thunderbolts isn't like a total one to one, which
But
I like. I don't want them to
Suicide
be
Squad
identical.
sounds so much better than Thunderbolts. That just sounds like lame. It's like, when Deadpool and Deadpool 2, when he's like, "We can't be X-Men, we're gonna be X-Force."
Yeah,
Like, I feel like it's like a ripoff, like, it's like a generic type of thing.
I guess so. I don't mind Thunderbolts, especially if they tie it in with like Thunderbolt Ross, then it makes sense.
Yeah,
But it probably won't be a long term team. But
no. But yeah, back to Sharon, she called Betrock, um, and, oh, you know what? We need to talk about, we'll get to it, but what do you think about, Sharon calling him? Like, Sharon's gone full 100% evil. Like, I thought, I don't know, but I can't speak for you, but I thought, this was just a thing, but now, she communicates with the power broker, she talks to Betrock, like, man, she did a 180, she's a villain now.
yeah, I don't. I'm still yeah, more on that side that she's not up to good deeds. So, yeah, to put it mildly, that was a weird way to put it. I can't think of words, but yeah, I don't know what to think because it leaves things a little bit obscure, like why she's calling Batroc. She just calls him and says that she's basically got a job for him, that she'll pay double and all these things. But she must know that Batroc, as he says later, is just there to kill the Falcon. So Sharon must be aware of
Yeah,
these things, and also the job is for Batroc to go give Carly weapons, and weapons or Carly seems to be
that's what I was gonna bring up.
she seems to realize that that's what's going down and who Batroc is. So I don't know if Carly was the one to reach out to Sharon,
Yeah,
or if
but
maybe Sharon sent Batroc there to try to infiltrate
well, it's
Carly.
super interesting because we see Carly here go full, like, antagonist, like, "I don't care who I
Yeah.
work with, I just need this," and her partner, like, her new right-hand man was like, "Since when do we work with villains?"
Hmm.
Like, he doesn't see them as a villain, but Carly sees herself as whatever needs to be done to
Yeah.
get, the world reunited again.
Yeah, so it's a really interesting dynamic. So I still don't know specifically what Sharon's up to, who she's working for, what her play
Yeah.
is exactly, but it is strange that she is calling Batroc and she's kind of uniting with Carly. So I don't know if she's trying to infiltrate Carly using Batroc. I imagine it sounds like Batroc legit does want to kill Falcon. I wouldn't be surprised because I don't know. Batroc, I feel like Batroc maybe doesn't seem like he needs to kill Falcon. The Falcon just got him imprisoned. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a tough hate like that. Like Batroc
Well,
almost has more to be pissed off with Steve. I don't know.
yeah. Well, I think he just wants to get even, but
Yeah.
do you, do you see, like, Sharon could, like, because remember, Sam's like, "Hey, I'll get you a pardon if you help us."
Hmm.
Well, do you see her being like, "Fuck that, I don't need the pardon. I just, I got something really going good now for me."
Maybe. I could see something like that. She's probably playing both sides for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I still have a lot of questions about Sharon. That seems to be
Definitely.
the real mysterious lead that they want us to kind of be going around and round on. So I don't know what she's up to. She's very intriguing to me. I wish I had more info on her.
Yeah.
She's just very suspicious, and I don't know if it's going to be some weird red herring where she's going to be like, "No, I was in on it the whole time. I've been pulling all these bad guys in and manipulating
All the
them." It could
strings
be
for you.
something like that. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like a weird turn. I guess Sharon does feel betrayed by the government who's now got her on the run, and she tried to
Yeah,
help Captain Falcon.
but Sam didn't do anything to her. Like,
No.
so for her to, like, essentially, like, help Batroc get to Sam,
Hmm.
like, I feel like she has, like, she's gone complete evil because Sam didn't do anything to her, and then Sam even tried to help her once he found out, like, the kinda condition she was living in.
He did, but he never reached out to her either. So maybe she could hold some contempt for that, even though she's kind
Yeah,
of
I
under the
guess you're
radar.
so.
But I could kind of see maybe if she's twisted that up in her
But
mind.
at the same time, though, after she gave him the wings, like, he went on the run too,
Yeah.
and then when he finally got cleared, actually he didn't get cleared until after Endgame when everybody died,
Hmm.
and then he comes back, and then that's when everybody died, and then or he comes back, and then that's when he got pardoned.
Yeah.
So like it's just I don't know. Like I feel like that's kind of fucked up to hold for so long.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm still big question mark on Sharon. Don't know what's up with her. It is cool to see Batroc again. I thought he was going to be a one and done at the
Yeah,
beginning of the series, but yeah, no, he's back again. So yeah, a lot going on. But I think that's well, I guess so. The whole deal here, Carly's revealed her plan to Batroc and everyone basically that she wants to. There's a Patch Act vote held at the GRC, which I believe they said would send refugees back to their home of origin. And Carly wants to prevent that and interrupt it, not let the patch go through and kind of
yeah,
do like a show of force type of deal. And that's pretty much setting up the next episode. And we even kind of get to see a little bit of it where the Flag Smashers actually start to take over that whole voting process,
yeah.
which I guess could take us into our next point if you're ready for that. The next
What next
episode.
episode? Yeah. So the first thing I have that I wrote down was Falcon suit.
Yes, for
Um,
sure.
do you think it's going to be made out of vibranium or parts of vibranium and like his wings maybe, or maybe it's going to be like how Iron Man's nanotech, but like maybe vibranium tech, how like Black Panther's kind of, how it like kind of not absorbed, but like just kind of flowed on him.
Yeah, like emerged from his skin almost, or it was the Komoyo
The
beads.
beads, yeah.
Yeah,
But do you think Sam's going to have something like that, or Sam's going to actually have like a suit?
I think it's a good question. I don't expect him to be armored. I expect the wings to be vibranium because we've seen over the course of movies he's been in, the wings always get ripped off, and that's his weakness, and he's just done. You remember in Captain America: Winter Soldier, his
Yeah.
one wing got ripped off by Winter Soldier, and then he's like, "I'm out, Cap." He's just done. That's like his one thing.
Tap out. I'm tapping out.
And then when John ripped wings, even Falcon was kind of like, "Don't worry about fixing it," or I don't know. It just seemed
Well,
it's like his big weakness.
he in when John ripped him off, he at least used his jetpack to like kind of like help still like fight.
Yeah, yeah.
But with the wings, like he uses wings for so much as a shield. He uses them to fly. He uses
Yeah,
like,
it is a part of him.
yeah.
So I
So
think maybe from like a show standpoint, you'd want to make those vibranium so they can't be broken, and now you got like a fully functioning Falcon
well,
instead of every time everybody's trying to rip the
I
wings
think
off.
his suit needs to be vibranium as well, or maybe it's going to be some type of vibranium exosuit because remember Sam is still a regular person. And
Yeah, I don't know that you'll have a helmet though, so I don't know if that
well,
defeats
not
the
I don't think
purpose.
it'll be helmet, but
That's what
like
I
it'll
mean, but
definitely
why
be
would
like the
you
goggles.
you'd
But no,
want to be
like
like armored all over?
not armored, like but like his suit, like from the neck down, like where his
Yeah,
chest plates and like I think that's gonna be like vibranium and maybe an exosuit to like help him with the strength part of it.
could see something like that. I don't know. They'll probably keep him human. I don't know. I
Well,
guess we'll
obviously
see
he's not.
next
He's gonna be.
episode.
He's
You're
obviously
gonna
gonna be
say it's gonna be
human.
armored. Well, you're saying I mean like they want him to not be super powered essentially. They don't want him
That's.
to have
But
extra strength.
I think that's gonna be like part of it. They give him like an exosuit. Like when you played Call of Duty and like you press A or like Halo when you jump fucking 18 feet in the air,
Yeah.
something like that where he has like the suit kind of helps him
I
because
don't
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
that they would. I feel like that kind of takes away the because he's not super soldier, he is a regular guy,
Yeah, but now that
taking
like,
on Captain America. It's kind
but
of
just think of all the stuff Steve had to do, like,
yeah.
and think of all the stuff Walker did as Captain America when he like, I mean, for the short period he was supered, and all the
Yeah.
stuff Bucky does. Like, I feel like being Captain America, you have to have some type of, excuse me, advantage of our super soldier. I guess maybe his advantage is his wings.
I think so. And he's never super powered in the comics either. I feel like
Well, no,
that'll probably get taken in.
that's why I said it's going to be an exosuit, not a superpower.
I know, I just still think fans would be like, it's not, the comic
Yeah, but the fans
version.
also complained that like he didn't actually have fucking wings. He had metal wings. They're like, oh, this isn't comic accurate.
Yeah, that's true. I
Like
don't know. I guess
they're just
we'll
never happy.
I guess we'll come back and we'll see how it went in the next episode. I'm voting it's going to be like a padded, like kind of like
A
how
vibranium
Steve
suit?
had, not a vibranium suit. I think the wings and the jetpack will be vibranium. I think his actual suit, like chest down, will be like how Captain America's suit was, where it was like padded, like bulletproof kind of Kevlar
I
type
think that
deal.
has to be vibranium.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah,
I just don't see him being armored. It would make sense. I don't know.
yeah,
We'll just have to see, I guess.
definitely. All right. So where does Bucky go from here?
Definitely back to Nakajima, right?
I think he ends with Nakajima.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, he's going somewhere in between because he says he tells Falcon once Falcon has a lead on Carly to call him and he'll be there. So I guess it
Hmm.
depends on how much time is in between these moments.
Yeah. Well, maybe he starts off with Nakajima. Like maybe he goes and he kind of pussies out again, and then
Yeah.
he goes and does the fight, and then he comes back and does it
Yeah,
at
I
the
could
end.
see it. It would be a good way to end. I could see that for sure. Because Sam even tells him to be of service. So I don't think it'll just be a conversation where Bucky's like, yeah,
Well, I think the conversation he'll have with Nakajima, but I think he'll be of service to other people because, like, what
maybe.
service can he do to Nakajima? Is he going to be like, "Let me make you some tea, sir"?
I don't know,
Like,
whatever Nakajima asks or whatever. I mean, we saw all these people helping Sam with the boat. I mean, it could be whatever. I don't know.
yeah.
Who knows? I'm sure
Real
there's.
quick though, do you think Bucky was hitting on Sam's sister?
Oh,
Every
for
time, every
sure.
time he saw her, he smiled at her.
Oh, yeah, he was totally hitting on his sister. That's why Sam was getting all crazy. There were like 3 scenes where
Yeah, he just
Bucky
like,
was like, "Hey, what's up? I'm Bucky." And
yeah,
she was into it.
yeah. No, absolutely. I just thought about that.
Wasn't Steve's mom named Sarah? Thought maybe that was kind of like a
I'm
thing
not
Bucky
sure.
might be kind of into. Because I thought that like
Maybe.
yeah, he's not trying to hit on Steve's mom, I know, but he maybe is like the name is like a good memory.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be like a sign, or something like that. Because I thought in Civil War when they had Winter Soldier's arm and like that like clamp, and they were seeing if he was
It
back to
is
being
Sarah
Bucky.
Rogers.
Sarah Rogers, yeah, he was like, your mom's name is Sarah. Her
Yeah.
newspaper's on your shoes. Yeah, so so it's like I don't know if maybe that's kind of the nice little tie is he's like, oh, her name's Sarah too. Yeah, it's a sign. I gotta. You think they're gonna get together though, or is it
No,
just a
I
fun?
think it's just a fun scene.
Okay,
Um,
yeah, me too.
yeah, okay. I'm sorry, I should have asked. I was
I
just
was I
going.
was I wasn't sure. I was gonna interject and say yes or no, but I had to. I hesitated. I was like,
I was
you
literally gonna,
might.
you're like, you, and I was like, nah. And then I was like, all right, let me move on to the next thing. Like,
You can
my
just move
bad.
on to the next thing.
Um, Taurus. Do you think he's gonna show
Oh
up with
yeah,
Bucky's wings?
he's gonna what?
Show up with Bucky's wings? Because
Oh, show up with Bucky's
remember Buck,
wings.
not Bucky. I
Oh
mean
yeah.
Sam's wings. Sam's wings. Sorry. Because
No, no, no. I know what you. Yeah,
remember he was like, "What's your wings?" He was like, "Keep them."
that's right. But he also said that he didn't think there was anything they could do. I guess he could tinker with them now and try to
Yeah,
make his own Falcon suit.
and the fans are gonna bitch because he wasn't experimented on and made into a Falcon.
It does seem weird because I really, with all this power broker stuff going on, we still haven't seen the power broker.
Yeah,
So
I forgot
I
all about
assume by
that.
now for sure, like
Yeah,
episode
so I guess we're
4,
not gonna see him.
maybe
You know what? They'll
at the
probably
end.
show him at like the extra credit scene
Yeah,
at the
for
very
sure.
end. It'll be Charlie Day.
God, I hope not. I hope it's like the Kingpin. That would be cool.
That
But
would be
that would
cool.
probably wouldn't make a whole lot of sense.
It
It's not New
would.
York.
It wouldn't. But if that actor is the power broker, I'd be down with it.
Or it is Sharon and they're like, no, you have seen the power broker
Yeah, gotcha,
whole
bitch.
time. Yeah, it could be something like that.
Yeah,
But yeah, still no explicitly stated this is the power broker type deal. So he could still get experimented on, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I think you're on the right trail though. I could totally see him
tinkering
being
with the
like, I
wings
got
and
these wings. I'll
yeah,
tinker with it because he was part of some like team that was working on
yeah,
Falcon's wings anyway, so he would probably have the know-how or
a
the
little bit.
resources
Yeah,
to do it.
exactly.
So yeah, that could totally happen. You haven't seen much of him. He was there for like the first episode, maybe the
First, like
second, and
first and
then
like the third, I think he
He's
had
just
like
been all over the place.
yeah, he had like one up scene in like
It feels
the
like there was a
previous
long
one.
gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's all I have for like next episode. Do you have anything else?
I don't think so. I think for sure John will show back up.
Yes,
Um,
definitely.
I think he'll be there for the fight. I don't know why he's making the shield if Val has said, "Hey, this is what's going on. You show up there," or if I don't know how he'll have the intel. He's not in the know anymore
Yeah.
to see what's going on unless he's just kind of on it and sees that there's going to be this vote and be like, "Yeah, she's probably going to be there." I don't know, but
Well,
regardless, I think that end credit scene is saying
do you
expect John
think
Walker.
if he does show up, do you think he's gonna be if do you think the final fight scene is supposed to be like probably gonna be like the best one of the show? Do you
Yeah, I
think,
think so.
you know, like Sam and Bucky are gonna be going against Carly and then US agent shows up and he tries to kill Carly and
Hmm.
then, so Sam and Bucky are trying to prevent him from killing and stop her and to stop him and like
Yeah,
all that's gonna happen at once?
it's exactly what I think is going to happen. I think it'll be a big fight scene. All like
Yeah.
probably a good portion of the episode will be this huge event. Every like a three-way fight scene. I mean, who knows if other people get added to it? I don't know, but I think it's going to be a big one. I think it's going to be quite the finale. I wonder if it'll be longer. Every episode has been
The last two
longer
are
than the
60.
last.
Yeah, the last two
Yeah,
are
they hit an
60s.
hour. So this next one, I would be cool if it went like an hour, hour 15, somewhere around there.
Give me
I
2
haven't added
hours.
it up. I don't know how far off we are from 6 hours. I know
Give me
that's their
2 hours.
goal. If it would be 2 hours, that would be sweet. But I don't think we have. I think that would go over 6 hours.
I feel like it's already over 6 hours, if I'm being honest.
I don't think so because a couple of the first episodes were only like 40 something minutes, and you figure there's always the previously on and just the rolling of the credits.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So
So
but that's only gonna be, like, 2 minutes, and, like, the credits are, like, 5 minutes.
yeah, I don't know. There's a good there's probably like close to 8 minutes worth of previously on and end credits.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
I feel like it takes up a good point. It's probably 5 to 8 minutes. It's somewhere in there, enough to those that's valuable time that I want to see Falcon Winter Soldier doing something,
Yeah, all I
and
know
it
is
adds up. They
I
probably
just
have
want
like 15 minutes of padding that they could put in the next episode.
yeah,
Maybe
I want 8 hours of it, that's all I want.
that's true. I want that as well. I hope they do a season two.
I do too.
But I guess that's
That's
all I
it.
have. Yeah,
Yeah,
for this episode. We're waiting on the big one, the finale.
yes, so we will be back next week with the finale and all the Easter eggs, all that good stuff that, we find to point out.
Yes, sir. So yeah, thank you everyone for listening and or watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Peace out.